We pump those profits back into the profit cycle to generate even more profits. And I know what you're going to say. Profits? Yes, Stan. You're soaking in them.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is your boy ExtrmWill with Extreme Tech. We're going to do another salad video here. Let's see, what did salad just do? 1.6.9? So they just upgraded to another upgrade from yesterday to today. So now you can upgrade again. One thing I did see, a lot of my NVIDIA drivers needed to be updated with all of these new updates from salad. So I don't know how old the old drivers were that it's not liking anymore. If they were like a month old or whatever, or 3 months old. I don't know. I'm not tracking what NVIDIA drivers I'm on. When it tells me I need to do a NVIDIA update, I do a NVIDIA update. So I have noticed I did need to do a whole bunch of those. But we are now on 1.6.9 and I have 29 machines. So you can see here with needing to do the update, everything it's starting to get kind of slowed down. A bunch of my machines wouldn't pick up new jobs because the drivers were out of date. So we went from doing about 30 cents every 15 minutes to doing 44 cents every 15 minutes. So I got a huge jump up, picked up a whole bunch of jobs. So that's looking pretty good. If we look, so this here, it's kind of going in between about 45 cents and 30 cents for 15-minute blocks. It looks like here when the new update came out, a bunch of my drivers then it said were no longer any good. So it kind of stuck it so they couldn't pick up new jobs. So I was able to just update the drivers and update to the latest version of salad. So I got a bunch of them already updated. So if we look at the last 7 days, yesterday says I made $35.70. Day before that says I made $33.07. Day before that says I made $32.76. Day before that said I made $36.11. Day before that said I made $36.42. And day before that said I made $39.66. So we can see here, I don't know why this is showing this in thin lines now. We can kind of see here, hurricane, bigger hurricane, and then everything kind of coming back. So looks pretty good. I don't know why these are thin lines. I don't like the thin lines. But it looks like that's all going pretty good. So if we look into the 29 machines here, I cover this pretty much every one. So the list of all 29 machines. Machine 30 is supposed to be on its way and some other interesting stuff, so we'll get into some of that later. I did work on, what's that? That's not something I want to see. I don't want to see that button. That's in here too. It's in all these. Oh, I got to take that off of everything. I gotta figure that out later. I don't want that Copilot stuff. That Copilot stuff is just dumb. It just drains your resources. It's a terrible thing. No, nobody wants it. I just downloaded. I downloaded Steam onto the laptop finally, and then because Valheim was on sale, so I downloaded Valheim for $9.99. So on the gaming channel over on just ExtrmWill, I may start trying to do some gaming when I have time. Now, I've said this a million times. This is where all my YouTube stuff started, was over on the gaming. So I might actually do it. I did also downloaded DaVinci Resolve. So I have a video editing program. So I can now edit video again. I think it's more important for gaming. But it'll come into play, I guess, with some of this stuff too. I should be able to do some more technical videos now then, because I can film part of it and then stop and then film something else and then come back and photo edit it all in together. So like when it comes to like how to set up your machine for salad, I couldn't really do it because you don't want to sit here and watch the Windows updates for 2 hours if I've got to do it in a single take, but I can edit that out now. So I do have to learn how to use DaVinci Resolve, but I have the ability to try to learn how to do it now. So I did that. I do need to find a photo editing program. So if anyone knows of a free photo editing program that works well with DaVinci Resolve, that I can like make thumbnails or still images with. Leave that in the comments down below, because I'm looking for that right now. I'm probably going to call one of my buddies tomorrow. I have a note right here to call my buddy tomorrow, who is a professionally, he's a video editor for a living. So call him tomorrow and talk to him, ask him what he thinks about Dissolve. I was using Adobe Premiere before, or I actually wasn't using Premiere. I was using Adobe, I don't remember what it was called. It's not actually Premiere, because I wasn't paying the subscription fee. I was using like Adobe Student Edition or something like that. It's like a one-time purchase that I'm not doing anymore. So let's get into the machines here. Let's see here. So this first one, this is 20 cores, 20 core processor, 96 gigabytes of memory, RTX 4090. This is doing $5.60. This is on version 1.6.7, so this is currently 2 updates behind. But I'm not stopping any job that's actively running, because that would just be silly, because the only reason I'm updating is to help me get jobs. So if it's active in a job, it is not going to get updated until this job ends, until I can catch it not running. So it's doing $5.60, so I'm pretty happy about that. If we go to the next one, this is another 20 core, 96 gigabytes of memory, RTX 4070 Ti. It's doing $2.62. This is already on the latest update, so this is on 1.6.9. You can tell because there's no little red dot and there's no little notifications down here in the bottom telling me I need to update. So this one is already updated on a new job, already crushing it. Let's go to the next one. Here is actually my photo editing machine, my whole everything that's out in the garage. Actually, I pulled the hard drive out for salad, because the version of Windows that has the editor in it is so old, it would not actually let me update it to be able to run the subset for Linux, to be able to run the WSL stuff on it. So I had to put a new instance of Windows, so I pulled the hard drive out of this machine. I think I put like a 2 terabyte in there, because this was only on a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and then it had a bunch of extra hard drives. I think it still has the 2 extra hard drives in it. But then I screwed up, and while I was trying to reinstall Windows, I did not I didn't unplug the other 2 hard drives, and I accidentally reformatted the one hard drive that had all of my video editing stuff on there, all of my cheat stuff, all of my tags, and like I have the little disclaimer thing on the bottom. Yeah, I probably had like 50 tags that I had built like that, and all kinds of stuff. All of that stuff got deleted on accident while I was trying to reinstall Windows, while I was installing a new version of Windows on that PC. So I lost all of my YouTube stuff that I had built. But it's fine. I'll just make new stuff. But this is out in the garage, so I don't have that. So that's why I'm putting the new stuff on here. But we should get new stuff coming. I should be able to. I'm going to say there's going to be YouTube gaming coming on the gaming channel, which means there's probably not. Because I'm sure I'm going to get too busy. But we will see. I wasn't planning on doing a video today, but with the new update, I figured I would. But anyways, this is the Threadripper 1950X. 64 gigabytes of memory, RTX 3090. It's not in a job, so it is fully updated to version 1.6.9. We'll go to the next one. This is a 12 core. This is the beginning of the BC/PC.com combo kits. So this is a 12 core, 96 gigabytes of memory, RTX 4090. This is going to be on version 1.6.6. It's doing $5.60. This is going to be a high priority job. So we're going to keep this one running. I am not going to update it, because that seems like it would be silly to me. So let's go to the next one. This is on version 1.6.7. This is another 12 cores, 96 gigabytes of memory. RTX 4090 is doing $6.27. So this one is doing, it's another high priority job. This is one, I was talking in the comments about this where you can see it, I think, between these 3. This one, and this one. This one's doing $5.60. This one's also doing $5.60. So this is a high priority job where the customer is asking for the same amount of memory and the same amount of CPU usage. This one is also a high priority job, But you can see the customer is paying for more CPUs on this one. I don't know exactly how many CPUs the customer is paying for, but the customer is paying for more CPU usage, which is why I'm getting paid more money. The only spot I see this in is with the 4090s. If you see this anywhere else, post it down in the comments below. But for the most part, all the jobs are basically identical. You just have you pretty much just have the 3 tiers. And then it's, how much are they paying for the memory? Which is normally they're either paying for the bare minimum of memory or they're paying for the 40 gigabytes of memory. Nobody's really buying the middle ground of the memory. They're either buying the bare minimum or they're buying the 40. I think most of them I tend to see now feel like most of them are buying the 40. I don't feel like I see a whole lot where they're buying less than that. But if you see one where it's paying a little less than you think it would be that. But you have the low priority, the medium priority, and the high priority. I got the video breaking all that down. On the Facebook page, I think I still have the graph that shows it, the link for it. But you can tell this is a high priority where they're paying more for the CPU usage and the maximum amount of memory. So if we go to the next one, 12 cores, 96 gigabytes, RTX 4070. This one is calculating. This looks like it is fully updated. On to this next one. Why is it minimized? 12 cores, 96 gigabytes, RTX 4060 Ti. I'm assuming the job this one was on must have just finished, which is probably why it minimized. But this should be fully updated. Or maybe it wasn't on a job, because it is fully updated. So it is just calculating. 12 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3090. This one is fully updated. Is doing $2.62. So this is the medium tier priority job. So we have a 12 core, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3090, $2.62. So this one is on another medium priority job. 12 cores, 96 gigabytes, RTX 4070 Ti, $2.62. This is another medium tier priority job. This one looks like it still needs to be updated. Yes, this is on version 1.6.8. So this one would have been updated yesterday. But as it's active in a job, I'm not going to update it until I have to. So to the next one, 12 cores, 96 gigabytes, RTX 3090. This should be a high priority job. It's doing $3.67. This one looks like they're buying the bare minimum for the CPU. They might also be buying a little bit less for the memory as well. Looks like they've got to be buying at least 20 for the memory, but it doesn't look like they're paying necessarily the full amount for the memory. So if we go to this next one, 12 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3080. This one looks like it's fully updated. It's doing a 10-cent job. I don't have any problem with running these. I know some guys don't, so they go into the settings and turn it off. I'm fine with it. I'll just run the 10 cents out, finish the job, get a higher reliability score, and then if another hurricane rolls through and I lose all my power, hopefully everything can get back to working again real nice and quick. Finishing jobs improves your reliability scores, which makes it more likely for you to get good containers. So I don't view these as necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, it's not really profitable, but you get it over and done with so fast, you get the job done. I don't think it really makes that big of an impact. And then, on just the profitability end, but I think it does help in the other end, where when it boosts your reliability score, then you have a higher likelihood of getting the better containers and getting more containers. So I'd say I think doing them is better than not doing them. And I think that's part of the reason too. You see people say not to do them. They're like, why aren't I getting containers? Well, because you don't have a high reliability score because you're not finishing jobs. You're not finishing enough jobs. So whereas I think if you were doing this and you were getting these and getting the higher reliability score, you'd have an easier time trying to compete. And I think it'd just be better in general for you. I understand you're losing a little bit. If losing the little bit is throwing you off, salad may not be the best thing for you because there's all kinds of wild stuff. I still don't think I'm running anywhere near over 50%. So maybe I might be running over 50%. It definitely wasn't running over 50% when I came home. So before I did the update. So if we go to the next one, was 12 cores, 96 gigabytes, RTX 3090. This one looks like it's fully updated. So this is doing $3.67. So I think this is still a high priority, but this looks like, well, they are paying for the maximum amount of the memory, but I would imagine they're probably not paying for the full amount of the CPU. Because I believe the high priority should get up to about $4. It might be a little bit under 4. I don't even have the graph up. I think it's supposed to be about $4 for the high priority, so I would assume this is the high priority just with a little bit less of the CPU. So we get to the next one, 12 core, 64 gigabytes, RTX 4060 Ti. This one is fully updated and it is calculating. We get to the next one, 12 core, 64 gigabytes, RTX 4060 Ti. This one is calculating, it is fully updated. We get to the next one. This one's on version 1.6.7, so it's 2 updates behind. This is the last of my 12 core X99 motherboards. So this is at 64 gigabytes of memory, RTX 3060. This one's going $1.95. So I believe this is a medium tier priority job. So we will definitely keep this one running as long as we can. And then when it's not running a job anymore, then I'll update it. This is one of the ones I know I had to update the driver on it again. I feel like I'm always updating the driver on this one. But it's up to the brand new driver that I want to say came out yesterday. There was a new driver that came out on 10/22. So I had a whole bunch of machines that needed it. I know this is one that did need it. So I did it on this one. So this is a Ryzen 9 12 core. This was the cheapest Ryzen 9 12 core I could get. That's why this is the one that I bought. I did buy it brand new though. I was tempted to buy it used and decided because this one's upstairs hooked up to the printer. This one's actually in the house. I figured I would buy a brand new one just because I wanted this machine to be nice and pretty. I put a brand new motherboard in here that I had from the Bull Run. I think when I bought one of the 3080s from Newegg, when I won the Newegg Shuffle, back when that was a thing, which I went out with the 50 series cards, I would be shocked if Newegg Shuffle doesn't come back and they're not doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I expect a shortage on the 50 series cards and them to be really hard to get and crazy overpriced and just my guess. You know, I know guys are talking about they think the bull run is going to happen, and I think if there is a bull run with all this AI stuff, like I think getting these 50 series cards is going to be really hard, and I think Nvidia is going to overcharge out the butt for them. So I think it'll be interesting. But anyways, that's how I got the motherboard, and I finally built it out. Like I wasn't going to do anything with it, and then I was like, well, you know, let's do this. So I did that and made this PC here really nice. I'm really proud of this one. I think this one looks really pretty. So this is it has a NVIDIA RTX 3070 Ti, 64 gigabytes of memory, and it is currently calculating. It is on the new update 1.6.7 and is on the brand new NVIDIA driver. And Chrome Remote Desktop will only let you have 20 open at a time. So let's close all of those out. We will open the 8-core machines. I'm going to open just these 4, and then we'll go to the next ones. So I think it's better if we open that up so everyone can see it. All right, so this is i7, 8 cores, 32 gigabytes, RTX 3060 Ti. It is running in a job. It's on version 1.6.5. Yeah, holding down the old school. I was wondering if I did have anything on it. I was pretty sure I did, but yeah, this one's 4 updates old already. 4 updates old. Rocking $1.30. It's a low priority job, but this machine, it's making some money. It's holding it down. That's what I like to see. So it's probably been doing this job for 9 to 8 days. 8 to 9 days would be my guess. Because it's still on such an old version of Salad. Yeah, so definitely gotta like that. It's gonna keep on running until it finishes the job. Because I'm not gonna say I don't want to make money with it. I'll let it keep earning. So we'll get this next one. This one should be fully updated. This is a i7, 8 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3060. Calculating on the newest version of Salad. Let's get this next one. This one here. What are we rocking? 1.6.7. This is an i7 doing i7, 8 core, 64 gigabytes of memory. RTX 3070 is like $1.32. Version 1.6.7. So yeah, we're gonna keep it running until it finishes the job. This next 3070. Is this one not running? These two both were running side by side for a while, but I guess this one's not. Ryzen 7, 8 core, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3070 is calculating, but it is fully up to date. And then yesterday, for some reason, I was saying I have 6 of these. I said in the video for some reason my 6 cores were 5 cores. Obviously, they're not 5 cores. They are 6 core machines. But I think sometimes I get confused with all these numbers. So we will open the 6 core machines, not 5 core, 6 core machines and the 4 core machines. So this one should be on version 1.6.8. It's not going to have the banner up here, I don't think, until tomorrow telling me to update. This is i5, 6 cores, 32 gigabytes of memory, RTX 3060 Ti is doing $1.30. It's not going to get updated until it finishes this job, because that's how we roll. So this next one, i5, 6 core, 64 gigabytes of memory, RTX 3060. This one's calculating. This is fully updated. So Ryzen 5, 6 core, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3070 Ti is calculating. I don't think either of my 3070 Ti's have picked up a job here in a little bit. A little disappointing. Alright, I don't know what happened here. When I checked a little bit ago, this one was running. This looks like this one just crashed out. So let's... I guess this one's getting updated now. This one may need a new motherboard. This one does seem to crash out quite a bit. I don't necessarily want to buy a new motherboard for this. I may try to see if I can just find a used motherboard that can use this chip here really cheap. But I do think this is... I believe this is another Meta PC. This one's a normal one. This one's the ITX, the compound one. I think with this one, when they shipped it to me, they didn't put the packing in there correctly, so the GPU kind of like cracked the motherboard a little bit because it wasn't secured in there correctly. So in the shipping, the GPU was bouncing, and I think it kind of messed up the motherboard. And it works for the most part, but it does crash every once in a while. So I may need to look into that, into buying a new motherboard for this, or I'll just think about it, you know. It is on my radar, because I don't like the fact that this thing just kind of resets on me sometimes. I'm thinking that's what it is. I think I just need a new motherboard. The problem is going to be when I do buy a new motherboard, I'm going to be like, oh, this motherboard's not completely broken yet. Why don't I just buy more stuff to put on this old motherboard that still kind of works? Because I'm cheap. So, we'll figure it out. I'll probably let it keep on running until it stops working altogether. Hopefully. So, alright, this next one. Ryzen 5, 6 cores, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3060 Ti. This one's calculating, so it looks like it's fully up to date on version 1.6.9. Let's see here. This one looks like it's fully updated. It's my 10-year-old i7, 4 cores, 16 gigabytes of DDR3, RTX 3060 is calculating. It's fully up to date I have seen this one get jobs a little bit, but it definitely does not run constantly. This is not another one I like think about getting rid of, but I like, I don't know, like getting rid of stuff is complicated because it's like if I would get rid of it and I were to sell it and I were to find this for sale on Facebook Marketplace, I would want to go buy this instantly. So like for an amount that makes sense for me to sell it for, like I'd want to go buy it. So just I'm gonna let it keep on running and I'll just deal with it. All right, this one should be running in job because it says it's on version 1.6.7. So this is an i3 4-core, 64 gigabytes, RTX 3070 is doing 10 cents. So if I really wanted to, I mean, this is already 2 updates behind. I could technically like pause this and stop the 10-cent job, but to be honest, I kind of want to let these finish out and just make the money. I'll check these again in the morning. I may check them again before I go to bed tonight, depending on what time I go to bed tonight and if I just pass out on the couch playing video games or if I actually decide to willingly go upstairs and go to bed. I may try to double check everything again, but I may just get updated in the morning. So we'll see. But yeah, it's on 10-cent job on version 1.6.7. So I think I've made my stance pretty clear on all that. Let's see here. So this one, updated again. This one's not active in a job. My good old reliable machine. i3 4 cores, 32 gigabytes, RTX 3080 is calculating. Fully updated. This machine's pretty much always running, so let's see. Did I have anything in here I need to take care of? I think I already updated the one that needed to, and we got it updated and running. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, looks like that's salad. Let's see here. I should have had this up already. YouTube on, is it on the right YouTube? That's YouTube Gaming. So let's switch to YouTube Tech. So I'm set up right now to do YouTube Gaming. I might try to do a YouTube Gaming live stream. Or I may put it off. If I put it off till tomorrow, it means I probably won't do it. But I may try to get one done tonight. So I'm still going to come up with a better way to do this. Other than doing it like this. So I had 23 comments from the last one. Wow. Oh, I think a lot of these are conversations. So we'll see. So we've got... we'll give DJ another shout out. You guys got the shout out. Nice. Yeah, I had a 400 plus gigabyte WSL file. Yeah, that's definitely pretty crazy. Some guys talking about, is Salad planning on going to the Linux distribution center? You know, I don't really remember what exactly they said in the interview. I think he might have said both. I think he might have said that they were both planning on setting up a Linux version and they have everything set up to run in Windows, so they want everything to run in Windows. If I remember correctly, I think he did actually state both. So I think, you know, like, well, whatever. They may get something on Linux, but everything is set up specifically to run through the WSL2 on subset for Linux in Windows. So, you know, I'm not really waiting for anything like that. I'm hoping to get just a better way for us to monitor all this. And then Miner Joel said, if you're updating to 1.6.8, you should update to 1.6.9. Yeah, I think they actually did something, fixed an issue with memory management within the container environment that caused some jobs to fail. So they might have finally fixed, I don't know if that specifically is, they finally fixed the thing where the memory had been bloating out. I haven't seen the memory bloat out in a while. Well, I saw it maybe 2 weeks ago. I saw it on my 4090s. I saw one of them get to 80 gigabytes of RAM. So they might have finally tried to fix that. I think they might have fixed a couple other things. So, but yeah, they do have the new update. Obviously, if you're updating, update to the newest version. Bleach said there's a better way to turn off updates forever. I don't care about that. I like my generic way of doing it. I don't want to do as little bit of work as possible and get as much results from it. I want to work smarter, not harder. So maybe if I really have to, I will go in group policy editor. I think I've done that before, but I think it's a little bit more work. User RX4IP. What's the best overall GPU for mining on Salad? Well, we're not mining on Salad. We're chopping on Salad. Duh. But so my response is 4090s cost way too much. But they are technically the best. Yeah, they cost too much. They're stupid to buy. Right now, I like the 3090s and the 4060 Ti 16GB card for Salad. I think those are your two best options. So if you can find 3090s real cheap right now, I think they're pretty decent. I like the 4060 16GB card a little bit more. I think it uses less electricity. It's a newer card, so I think it'll last longer into the future than the 3090 will. But they don't seem to be really running a lot of jobs right now. So I think the 4060 Ti 16GB card is a little oversaturated on the network right now, but those are my two favorite cards right now, probably the 3090 and the 4060 Ti. If I were to look at buying a card right now, I guess it would be if I could find a 3090 for that $400 to $450 range, I would probably look for that first, and then I would go buy a 4060 Ti. I try to see if I can get them for like $400 right now. I'd imagine you might be able to find them for $400 on like Facebook Marketplace or like eBay. Those would be my thoughts for what I would want to do. So Bleach said 10 cents a day in electric, more to mine on Salad than you make. Also, they patched the glitch right after. Let's see. 10 cents a day in electric more to mine on Salad than you make. So, yeah, you're still not making anything on the mining, so I think it's still kind of dumb to turn on. However, I know Brandon from Brandon Coin was talking about making a video. That can come in handy, though, if you're using your equipment to, like, offset your heat. If you live up north, I live in Tampa, so it's beautiful outside right now. All of my equipment is outside in the garage, in the server closet. I don't have anything in the house to provide heat because I don't need heat. We don't ever need heat here in Tampa. I live in a tropical paradise because it's tropical paradise. But I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It is cold up there. It's really cold. So like I do understand that kind of mindset. If like you do use your mining equipment, like scatter them around the house to offset your electric bill for your heat. So instead of paying like $600 for to heat your house, why not just pay $600 in mining equipment instead and scatter your mining equipment around the house? Because then you'll make a lot of that money back. So I think that kind of mindset on it can be really, really good. There are replies in there. Did I get any in there? No. Let's see. User RX. Do CPUs really matter? Number of cores. Oh, wow, there's a lot of conversation in here. The number of cores, for the most part, it really doesn't matter, but the customer can pay more for it. The vast majority of the customers, though, are only paying for 1 or 2 cores right now. So they don't really matter. My 4-core machines run just as much. I mean, the most reliable running machine I have is actually a 4-core machine with the 3080. My very last machine we look at in the list. That thing runs amazing. I'm surprised it's not running right now, but it runs really solid and consistent. It's run more consistently than any other machine I have. But it is kind of handicapped a little bit where no one's ever going to pay. I'm not going to get a lot of that ultra premium on it because someone can't pay for the more cores. But on a 3080, no one's going to come in and say, hey, I really want to get, 12 or 20 cores on that 3080. They're going to want that on the 4090s or the 3090s. So, like, lining your stuff up appropriately, your better cards should be with the more CPU cores and your more memory, your more RAM should be on like your 4090s or your more expensive cards. So, and then, you know, like your 3060s and your 3070s, if they're at like 16 to 30 gigabytes of memory, you should be more okay with that. Like, if you put your 4090 with 16 gigabytes of RAM, I wouldn't be shocked if no one rents it at all, because everyone who rents a 4090 probably wants at least the 40 gigabytes of RAM. So your more expensive cards, you probably want in a more appropriate, more expensive rig to optimize out how much you're making. And then like your weaker cards, you know, like I'm not going to put more than 64 gigabytes of RAM in a machine with the 3090, but I will put more. Well, I probably have a couple that are. I don't really want to. I have a couple that are because I'm too lazy to pull it out, because I don't need to pull it out. But for my 3090s, I only really want the 64 gigabytes of RAM in there. But for the 4090s, I do want more RAM. I would like to actually go purchase some more RAM. Maybe I can look at that too as I'm doing some more upgrading here kind of soon, hopefully-ish. We'll see how bills go. But I may try to get more RAM in there then to get the 4090s back up to 128. Because if the customer says they want more, the customer can pay for more even though it's not listed. Salad can always make exceptions and then put them on their own particular pricing scale, on a specific pricing scale. So, Julie Anzo Lafa said his 4090 with 64 gigabytes, $0 for 2 days. Oh, it's definitely heartbreaking. Hard to see. You always want to see that 4090 running. Like, they make so much more. They make all of this really worthwhile. So it's not running that is rough. Only RTX 3090 is working for him fine, making $2.64. It's a medium tier job. So that's at least nice. Let's see. And then smooth adjusted. You're barely making over $1 a rig. $39 on 29 rigs is something to be laughed at. Not really, because that's not the way I would look at it. It's on 29 cards. So, like, yeah, if I had 29 rigs running on Vast AI, if I was running everything on Vast, I would probably try to only be running like 10 machines or something like that, because you put the multiple cards in that, because it's one, you know, it's basically like $1 GPU. There's nothing in mining other than the 4090s that are going to make anywhere near that $1 GPU. So we can take a look at hashrate.no real quick, because I looked at this earlier today, because this is what I was wondering about. GPU calculator, because like I know there is some stuff that's doing better, but we'll just say 5 of these, 5 of these, and 5 of these, because this should be a decent enough kind of thing. I'm at 15 cents, but we're not even going to care about the actual profit. We're just going to care about the straight revenue. So even a Leo right now with 15 cards is still not at $10. It says it's still, and then after electric, it's still only at $1.65 profit. So I don't know what smooth adjusted is really talking about. I mean, I guess like it would be nice if I was making more, but I don't think there's any way that I can make any more at all. I think some of the other AI rental programs and platforms, they look nice, but I don't think they're overall looking really all that great. Oh, wow. That wound up shooting way over. We're at 39 minutes for a video I wasn't even planning on making. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to say that's going to be it for the video. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, come on back. Leave comments down below. I'm pretty good about getting back to comments. I like the idea of trying to... I want to just kind of look at them and see if there's like... Pick out like 3 of them that maybe I didn't already address in the video and read the 3 at the end. Problem with that too, I pulled it up and then I wasn't looking at my video editing software to see how long we were. So I want to keep these at 30 minutes. So we're way over. So let me stop talking. I'm going to stop rambling. Peace. I'll see you guys the next time. Like the video, like button, subscribe. Come on back. I'll see you later. Peace.